Daniel Jones has been bombarded with criticism since the New York Giants signed him to a huge contract last offseason, but he's still their best chance to win in 2024.
I have faith in Daniel as our starting quarterback.
How's it going today? My name is Jesse McNamer, and welcome to Point of View. Before we get into it today, I just want to say we always appreciate your feedback and look forward to reading your comments like the one we've got here. Also, be sure to stay tuned to the end of this episode to see if you can guess today's trivia question down below. To today's topic, is taking a quarterback with the 6th overall pick the best move for the future of the Giants? It might be, and the way everybody's talking about this QB class, you can't go wrong with the top 6 options. But I'm here to tell you that Daniel Jones needs to be the guy for the Giants entering the 2024 season. Now I get it. As someone who's never been sold on Jones, I understand how this sounds a little insane. And I'm not even here to tell you that they shouldn't draft a QB. I think they should, but more on that later. I'm just saying that Daniel Jones should get another shot. It seems likely he'll get that chance as he's already has the confidence of the general manager and head coach going into next year. GM Joe Schoen said at the NFL Combine that he has faith in Jones as a starter, and coach Brian Daboll told the NFL Network insider Tom Pelissero, quote, "Excited to get Daniel back. When he gets back, he'll be the guy," end quote. To be clear, their reasons for the votes of confidence might not all be about on-the-field performance. If the Giants were to cut Jones before next season, they'd have around $69 million in dead cap on the books. If they wait until after the season, it'd be about $22 million of dead cap, while creating almost $20 million in cap space. So for that reason alone, it makes a lot of sense to keep him around. And he's also only had great things said about him from the guys in the locker room. Wideout Darius Slayton had this to say when asked about the prospect of replacing Jones after his ACL injury this past season.
He's also not alone in this. We'll have his back and we'll support him and be with him through this process. People have been trying to get myself and him and multiple others out of here since we've been here, so it hasn't stopped us before. It won't stop us now. And like I said earlier, he's a resilient human being. He's a good football player. And at the end of the day, he'll be back healthy again one day, and he'll be back playing pro football somewhere, hopefully here. And I look forward to that day.
So he's got the support of nearly the entire franchise, but support doesn't win football games. And Jones has only won 22 of his 59 career starts. So you might think there aren't any legit football reasons to keep him around. But for this year alone, there are a few. First, as Giants co-owner John Mara famously said in 2022, the franchise did everything they could to screw up Jones' development. He's had 3 head coaches and 4 offensive coordinators in just 5 seasons. As the Chicago Bears know very well, that doesn't really work for a young QB. But when Brian Daboll was hired in 2022, Jones finally had a breakout season. The stats didn't pop off the page, but he still threw for 3,200 yards and 15 touchdowns to just 5 picks. He also had the lowest interception percentage in the NFL at 1.1%. They squeaked into the playoffs in a tough division, won a playoff game for the first time since the 2012 Super Bowl, and Daboll was named Coach of the Year. What this tells me is that Jones is the right type of quarterback to make Daboll's system work. Jones was tied for the shortest distance per pass attempt at 6.5 yards, but had an adjusted completion rate of 80.1%, which just means he was the most accurate QB in the league. And as I mentioned, he had the lowest interception rate, so the offense could flow as intended. Their floor with Jones is just a lot higher than with a rookie QB, and he's going to get paid a boatload of cash either way, so they might as well see if he can bounce back after last year's injuries. But to run Daboll's offense to the fullest, the QB needs the ability to throw it deep. Don't get me wrong, Jones has been very, very accurate on his deep ball opportunities so far, but he hasn't attacked that zone as often as needed, and a lot of that is because he's sacked so often. The offensive line and coaching scheme are always at fault for that, but Jones needs some blame too. Just look at this play from the Seahawks game last year when Jones was sacked 10 times. Jones motions a receiver in from the left, which only helps the blitzing corner get a head start. Jones has no idea it's coming and gets blown up from his blind side. As difficult as it is, it's just part of an NFL QB's responsibilities to make sure there's a plan for that before the snap. When the Buffalo Bills offense was at its best with Daboll as their offensive coordinator, they ranked 3rd in deep pass attempts and 10th in yards on those plays. With Jones in his best season in 2022, the Giants were dead last in deep pass attempts with 24. He's just not tossing it downfield enough. And that's where the second part of my plan enters the fold. The Giants should draft a QB in April, and that QB should be Michael Penix Jr. Many members of the Giants front office were spotted scouting the top 6 QBs in the draft at the Combine, and even had private workouts with a couple of the QBs, so it's definitely a possibility they select one of them. I believe Penix is the right choice among the group because of what he can do with the deep ball that Jones can't, and the fact that his injury history might allow him to drop a little further than the others. In 2023, Penix threw 117 pass attempts of at least 20 yards, 20 more attempts than any other FBS QB, and had 16 touchdowns off those attempts. And if you watched him, you know just how electric he was. Take a look at this play from the Pac-12 championship. Penix takes a deep drop, stays patient, and tosses off his back foot right to the sideline for a huge gain. I'm not convinced anyone else in this draft has the deep ball capability that Penix does. So say the Giants take Penix while Jones is still on the roster. I think they could do what we've seen a few teams do and let Penix sit behind Jones until they feel he's ready. That could be week 3, that could be in 2025, or somewhere in between. But in this situation, you see what Jones can still do for you while planning for the future with a QB on a rookie contract. Best of both worlds if you ask me. Now, maybe I'm just completely off base and the Giants really think Jones is their future. In that case, they should take a look at Malik Neighbors with their first-round pick. For more on how he could be better than Marvin Harrison Jr., check out our recent point of view. And the moment you've been waiting for, here's the answer to today's trivia question. We appreciate you tuning into this episode of Point of View. We will see you in the next one.